Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is 8 minutes past the hour on this Freedom and Fun Friday, 27th day of June. Yours truly, Joe Dupree in the building, 100 BLK, the Black Station, hashtag Truth Be Told, slash JD Live, your early morning wake up. A little late this morning. A little late this morning. My apologies for those who have been sitting on here waiting for us to come on. Sadly, yesterday evening, I received some tragic news of a very close friend and a mentor um, transitioning, um, has passed away. For the love of the family, I'm not going to put his name out there today. But yesterday, a very close friend of mine, a very instrumental person in my life for me being where I'm at today, um, transitioned very unexpectedly. I literally talked to this individual on the 20th of June and was planning on calling them today after the show. So I start the show off by telling everyone who's listening, everyone who will replay the show, everyone who was tuned in, don't take people and time for granted. Yesterday evening, I had a stark reminder that I am mighty, I am strong, I am powerful, but I'm not God. And God will pick and choose in His timing how to operate and take folks home. So 10 minutes past the hour. I'm trying to keep it together, y'all. Y'all know it ain't me by myself. We try to wake you up every morning. I tell you to get it going, get it popping. Let me bring in the CEO of Pimpin' Positivity herself, Miss Alethea Crimmins in the building. Hey, Alethea, good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Whew, I'm tired. Lord.
Hey,
Good morning.
when you sent me the message, I was literally like, "Oh no, it can't be 6. My alarm didn't go off." And I had such a heavy night last night. So my apologies to you. Um, I was
I
getting
know.
ready to check.
I knew something wasn't right. I said, "Oh, wait a minute."
Hold on. I was literally getting ready to text you back and say, "No, we're not going to do the show today." But
We we and we 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 don't need we
no,
don't
no,
need
no. But
to.
but but we do, because hmm, somebody who is with the ancestors in heaven right now would have told me, "No, I'm in a better place. Don't tell people that I'm gone and how I died. I done be and keep going and tell them how I live." So I
Literally just had this
no,
conversation with my wife last night. Literally,
don't
because
don't tell.
we're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of my brother. So we're coming
Oh,
up on that 1 year,
oh Lord.
and we have been in a funk. Like it's like we
Mm,
just can't we keep trying to get past it, and we can't get past it. And we had a talk last night. We were like, look, we we
mm,
got to find a way, because he would not want this. Like
right,
he would want
right.
us to keep, so we got to keep pushing. And it is hard.
Yeah,
Grief is hard, and it does
yeah,
not have a timeline.
yeah,
But just like you said, like they are in a better place, and they would not want us to not continue to live our lives, because now we're living for them.
right. We're broadcasting live right now. Good morning to all the folks. I see there is a ton of folks jumping on Instagram, and good morning to all my folks on the gram. Good morning to those who are tuned into us on YouTube and those who are tuned in on Facebook. Yeah, I got hit with a ton of bricks yesterday evening. I got a phone call that nobody wants to get. And when I got the call, I was already dealing with my day-to-day working stress because some of you don't know. Y'all see me, y'all say, "Oh, there's Joe Dupree, the radio guy, the podcast guy." But I have a occupation that I am in law enforcement, and, I do press releases, and sometimes and I work with missing and exploited children, so I'm always being bombarded with sometimes the most goriest stories that you can ever imagine. Then I have to dumb those stories down and put them out to you through the press where you can digest it. At least we got some of these monsters off the street. So I'm processing all of that from recent homicides and missing children and sexploited children cases, and did I get the call? And it's not the call you want, because in your mind, you literally prepare yourself for certain calls on certain folks. Like, there's elderly folks in my family and elderly friends of mine who have been sick that when I get that call, it's gonna hurt, but it ain't gonna catch me off guard. It ain't gonna be me there going, "Whoa, whoa, wait a minute." And once again, that reminded me, stark reminder, with all the power that I have, all the influence I have, all the things I know and all the people I know. I'm not God. I can't make the call when God calls somebody home. That gave me a stark reminder to start calling folks and burying the hatchet and telling them that I love them. Don't know how many brothers I called last night. I just said, "Hey, man," and wept with brothers and like, "He can't be gone." Yeah, he gone. But I called to tell you I love you. Because I should have called him, because I normally was calling him every day, and every day kind of drifted away to every other day, to drifted away to once a week. I literally talked to this individual on June the 20th. I looked at my phone log, which is full of calls with he and I, him steadily mentoring me. He had a very classy saying, and I put it on my Facebook last night because I did not want to say his name. I wanted to give the family time to mourn and time to position themselves to let the world know. And I'm sure the world is waking up this morning. A lot of folks is knowing. I just couldn't put my picture with his picture up there saying, "Man, a great one is gone." Because it ain't gonna change what I really want in my heart for the great one to come back. It wasn't so much that the great one's gone. I really want the great one to come back. And I'm really sitting here going, "Okay, God, there's a lot of folks you could have took the glory. Why him?" So when you text me, Alethea, at 6 o'clock on the dot, and I was just really jumping up, turning on equipment, saying to myself, "Are we going to do this? Are we not going to do this?" This was necessary this morning because a lot of us take too much for granted, me included. Yesterday, with all the positive pimping that we do on this show, all the uplifting and all the encouragement we do on this show. Yesterday, I did the cardinal sin that I tell everybody don't do. I didn't listen to my spirit yesterday when it said call the brother because I was tired. I've been working from burning one candle from one end to burning a candle to another, and I belong to an organization. We speak a great deal about management of time. We have a gauge. We have a gauge. Yeah, we have a gauge. We call it the 24-inch gauge. And I forgot all that yesterday. And then when I got the call, Alethea, I was mortified. I was wait a minute. I actually told first call I got because I was working on a homicide and getting the story out about a homicide. I sent the voicemail, straight to voicemail. Boom. With a response back that said, "I'll call you when I finish here." I got a response back from that person, 911. I was like, "Wait a minute, what's going on?" but I had to stay focused at the task at hand and the job I had to do. Then I get another call. I'm trying to finish up some other. I get another call and I try to send it to voicemail and can't send it to voicemail. So then I look at the person with me and I said, hey, I know we're busy. I know I got to get this done. Can I return this call? Because I do not want to respect my job and what I'm doing at the present moment. Person said, man, go to your union and take the call. We can't do nothing here except process the scene. You put the story together and let's move forward. I got in the car and returned the call. When I got in the car and returned the call, the first thing I hear is a name. We have received information that that person has passed away. We're not sure if that's credible information. I'm just calling you right now because I was called hysterically and told that this person has passed away. Well, I'm in a position where all I got to do is punch some buttons. Anywhere in the world, I got access to find out is it may be true, because certain things happen when people pass away. And I see Sister Jax in the background, and I'm getting ready to bring her on the screen. Oh, let me bring her on. Let me just bring her on. Y'all, here she is. Woo, very well needed this morning. Life strategist, therapist, and author. My sister, Sister Jax, is in the building. Good morning, Sister Jax.
What's up, family? What's up, family? What's going on, Joe?
It's a Freedom and Fun Friday, and he that the
Joe
sun
is heavy
free.
this morning.
Yeah, it's heavy this morning. I lost a very close friend and a mentor. But as I was saying, I was going through dealing with a situation that was traumatic from the point of it wasn't my trauma. Anytime when you're dealing in law enforcement with anything that happens with the public, and I don't care if it's a car accident, all the way up to a homicide, a major homicide, it's traumatic because your heart goes out for the individuals who are the victims and the people who are suffering at that moment. So I'm dealing with a situation. My phone rings. I go into a system because I can check, and I say, oh, let me see something. Chicago, was there a 911 call for a dead body with this name? And boom, it pops up. And I just stare there, and then I call my people back. And I said, I can't confirm because this is kind of a common name, and I don't know addresses and stuff, but I can say that a person with that name has. And then another person called and said, no, it's confirmed.
Wow.
I'm waiting for the family to tell me I can make my way over to the house. And it made me realize I talked to this individual on the 20th of June. That's the last time I spoke to that person.
Wow.
We talked for about 15 minutes, and 15 minutes of him doing what he always did. Hey, my brother, people don't care how much you know until how much you care. That was his signature go-to saying before he dropped some nuggets on you. And he told me, he said, brother, you just got to keep doing what you know is right in the midst of folks telling you not to do it.
That's right.
And I said, my man, but the opposition is so strong. He said, yeah, but it's never the wrong time to do right. I remember him saying that. It's never the wrong time to do right. Then we plashed on a few other pleasantries, and he told me, man, I love you, brother. I told him I love you too. I said, I got to deal with my birthday and making it through the birthday weekend. And I said, I'll call you on the other side. That was my exact words to him. I'll call you on the other side of all these days. And he said, yeah, because I know you get ready to go to Essence. And I said, man, is there anything I can do? He said, and then he said, no. Not can you do anything for me? I'm well connected. Is there anything I can help you with down at Essence? Because I know folks, and I know you might need a few things. Is there anything I can? I said, we'll talk on the other side. Other side never came, family.
Wow.
It's 23 minutes past the hour. Family, don't assume that you are so strong, so powerful that you can control when people leave this earth in their physical body. You
That's right.
can't. You not God.
Mm-hmm.
And don't put off tomorrow
Mm. What you can do today.
what your spirit
Mm.
tell you to do today.
That's right.
If your spirit tell you to call somebody, I don't care if it's low, I don't care if they black, white, I don't care if they gay, straight, I don't care if they human, non-human. Some of y'all might be communicating with some extraterrestrials for all I know. I gotta lighten this up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If the spirit tell you pick up this phone and call somebody,
Call him.
don't fight yourself. Don't fight that
Mhm.
spirit. It might be your last time talking to them.
That's right.
Might be your last opportunity to say what you need to say. I'm so blessed that as I reflect on that conversation on the 20th, the conversation was a conversation of love, uplift, and instruction. Every time I talked to this brother, he talked to me in love.
Mm.
He always gave me something to uplift me, and he always gave me clear instructions. I pray that there is somebody out there who looks at me like I looked at him.
Mm.
My fathers, and I can say that because I had an adopted father, a man who raised me. I carry his last name. And my biological father, who I met in my 30s, but I loved him until the day he passed away. My fathers, I miss them, but this man was a surrogate father to me long after my fathers were gone. So
Mm-hmm.
rest in peace, my brother.
That's right. That's
The
right.
word of God says to be absent of the body is to be present with the Lord. So I know where you at. Hey, man, I still got work to do.
That's right.
So
That's right. My deepest condolences, Joe. And like you said, I'll talk to you on the other side. And that's exactly what you're doing today because his spirit is still with you and you are indeed still talking to him from the other side. So prayers to him and his family and for you and your family as you deal with this tragic loss. We
yeah,
love you.
so it's Freedom and Fun Friday, family. It's the way we start the weekend off. We made it through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We still here. That means we still got work to do.
I'll be back in 1 second. I gotta
Okay,
handle
hold on.
something.
I'm gonna take you off. I'll bring you
Okay.
right back. Okay. We still here, Alethea. That means we got work to
Yes,
do.
we
Speaking
are.
about work, next weekend we got work. Oh
Work
my
to
God.
do. We
We
got
got
work
work to
to
do. Listen,
do.
this broadcast is being brought to you by DUBBY, Doobie, which is Doobie Dubby, however you want to pronounce it. Tomato, all that good stuff. It is the sports and energy drink that keeps us podcasters and us gamers going. Check them out at dubby.org. They have some great power energy drinks that do the trick. I probably will need one very soon because I have been up and down all night. And Alethea, once again, I'm sorry I was late.
Oh no.
We are being brought to you by Ford. I drive one. I suggest you go test drive one. They're very good vehicles. That's what I'll be driving all through Essence and down through the block. But everybody knows I've been driving a Ford since Lord knows when. We are also powered by the Essence Music Festival Culture. Speaking of which, is next weekend. Next weekend, Alethea and I will be in New Orleans. You can catch us at the Montreal Convention Center. We will be on Radio Row. We will be doing exclusive interviews with some of the biggest names in the industry. We will also be at the concerts, at the nighttime concerts at the Superdome. So you can catch us there too. We're going to be all over the place. We're going to be there from Thursday to the end of Essence.
Yes.
And we're going to be giving you exclusive content. And yeah, we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. Going to have a good time. All that good stuff. So if you want to know more about everything Essence, go to my website, www.the100blk.com. Yours truly, Joe Dupree in the building. Alethea Crimmins coming at the bottom of the hour. We're going to be having sports. Elijah hasn't jumped in yet. As you see, Sister Jackson's on. Big ups to my man, Sean P. Sean, I'm going to give you a call because I'm going to need a book, bruh. I'm going to need a book just to read to uplift my spirits. A book about, I mean, Alethea, I'm trying to make it through this podcast, but really my
Listen,
soul is like, Joe, you know, you got to take your own medicine, bro. Stop taking things, time, people for granted. Forget, Odit. Too many times what we do, Alethea, and I had to get this out because my spirit just hit me with that. The reason we don't talk and communicate to folks is that's our safe space because we really don't want to face the facts of we may have fallen out with one another, but I still love that person. That person still means the world to me. I'm really upset of the stuff I said and did that was dumb, that made our relationship falter the way it did. You start, but you don't want to admit that to nobody, so you keep that angry, mad face on. And when they ask you about it, well, have you spoken to so and so lately? Nah, I really don't mess with that person no more. When down deep inside, there's a little you who misses your friend.
but that's because your pride won't let you do it. And a lot of times we do not want to turn that mirror to ourselves and say, I messed up.
Mm.
I messed up. I need to be that bigger person. I need to fix this. But instead of doing that, what we do is we hold grudges. We just hold it and hold it and hold it. And then when something happens, it's like, oh man, you shoulda, coulda, woulda. But when you had that opportunity to do it, you did not. You did not. Like, don't wait until they are no longer here to be like, I shoulda, I coulda, when you had every opportunity in the world to do it. Put your pride to the side and make things right while you can.
Yeah, that part. Speaking of which, it is the bottom of the hour. It's time for me to bring in my man Elijah Nixon with sports and find out what's going on in the sports world. Elijah, good morning, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I see Alethea smiling, so she must have had a good Thursday and or is looking forward to this Friday. And I see you with that
Yeah.
Tennessee Rocky top, man.
That's it, baby. That's
So
The man with the waves.
you see it?
it.
No, so the NBA draft just wrapped up last night. Some people predict winner and losers. I usually don't. I go and I just wait until we see the actual product. Because I mean, you could say this person and this person, but you never know until it actually happened. But with that being said, I gotta ask you guys something because something did bother me first round. Ace Bailey was one of the top 5 picks of the drafts. He went to the Utah Jazz. When he got drafted, he was noticeably upset because it was a team that he didn't want to go to. He was trying to stay, I guess, in the DC area where he's from. He wanted to get drafted to the Washington Wizards. That wasn't, but he still got drafted going out west to Utah, and he wasn't fairly happy about it on camera. I got to ask you guys a question, and it's not just NBA stuff, but it's just in the real world. If somebody gives you an opportunity and to shine at the brightest level, probably live out your dream, no matter if it's the dream company, but you're in that position, do you feel like you still should have an attitude or show some type of attitude about that, about getting a chance in the real world?
That's deep. Who you want to start with? We're going to start with the ladies. We'll bring me in last with that because you haven't heard you did just jump on and you don't know what I've been talking about for the last 30 minutes. So let's start with Alethea. Alethea, your opinion on what Elijah just said.
No, I don't feel like you should have an attitude because just because it didn't come in the package that you wanted it to does not mean that that's not still a blessing. And oftentimes we miss our blessings because it does not come in that pretty package that we wanted to, and you may not realize or understand what the reason is now, but there's a reason why God has placed you where He did. Just because you don't see it, that doesn't mean that there's a bigger picture. But for you to have an attitude means that you do not appreciate where you are, because do you know and understand how many people would love to be where you are and you mad? Well, then you don't need it.
Sister
You
Jax,
don't need it.
Sister
Yeah,
Jax, your opinion.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with what Alethea is saying. And also I say you got to pray about it. I'm sorry, I got to put a new light bulb in up here. But you got to pray about it because all money ain't good money. And sometimes you might be given an opportunity, and yeah, it might not be by the right person sometimes. So you have to pray and say, you know what, where is God directing me? That's how, I handle things. Where is God directing me? Because it may seem like the opportunity of a lifetime, but guess what? It really might not be. For instance, some people might have said going to a Diddy party is the opportunity of a lifetime to get there to network and mingle, and now you're caught up in some stuff. Right? So every opportunity ain't necessarily the greatest opportunity. So you just got to pray on it and figure out what, right? So you got to pray on it. You got to pray on it and let God light your spirit.
You got stock in Johnson & Johnson baby oil and trying to ask yourself, I sell all these stock. Listen, Elijah, I'm glad that I needed something to smile and laugh about. And that was my smile and laugh right there. I agree with both the women, and I'll hit it with this caveat. Because you don't have the foresight of knowing what comes in the future. You could be highly talented, wanting to be drafted in a city where you're around the people that you grew up with, not knowing some of those influences might be the influence that brings the demise of your life. See, we talking about dollars and cents and position and where I wanted to play, where in higher levels of conversation amongst spirits that we don't want to sometimes recognize, there is a conversation about life, about how long you'll live. See, you being drafted by the team you want to be drafted, being in the hood that you grew up in, might be in one day us turning on this podcast or ESPN talking about this great person who got drafted a certain number in the draft is no longer with us.
That's right.
Because of gun violence, a high-speed car chase, or running around racing in the streets. I can name a plethora of stuff that I see athletes with millions of dollars do every day that is dumb as hell.
That's right.
That could cost either their life, their freedom, or somebody else's life.
But you want to be in your hometown, like you said, around the people that you love, that you grew up with. But you also have to know and understand that everybody in your circle is not in your corner.
That's right.
And just because, oh yeah, I want to be around my people, but once you get to a certain level, them same people going to take that knife and stab you right in the back. Them same people going to be like, oh yeah, you doing good, but now that you're up here, it's like, oh, and nigga shining, and nigga think you all that.
Yeah. And them same people that have way too much access. When they're close to home, they have way too much access.
Oh, yes.
Right. So
everybody gonna have their hand out.
Hey, and Elijah, like you said, the brother was visibly not happy. Just like I remember one of the things that went viral a few years ago was when the young man chose the university, and it wasn't the university the mother wanted him to choose.
Yes.
And she literally on camera snapped.
Yes.
Like, no, don't put that hat on my head.
That's
no.
Some people just ungrateful as hell.
She was pissed off too.
Here's I think the lesson. I can always tell when the devil ain't happy. But here's the lesson to be learned from that, Elijah, in my humble opinion. The lesson to be learned is the following. Come on, family. Really? You got to be thankful for everything God blesses you with. You got to be thankful. You just got to be thankful for everything God blesses you with. Hopefully everybody
and you got to be thankful
back.
Also for things that
but you got to be thankful for the little thing, everything got you. Like you said, the blessing may be in the package that you are expecting. Go ahead, Elijah.
Yep. Real quick, Joe, I was going to say, you also got to be thankful for stuff that God doesn't bless you with, because certain things you may want, but God says, this is not going to take you to where I need you to go. So God won't give you that blessing, although you want it. So we still got to be thankful for that as well, for what he doesn't.
That rejection may be your protection.
That's right.
And I think
Come on.
that
Go ahead.
to put it on a personal level, to be honest, I never knew what an HBCU was. I was, from New Haven, Connecticut. Never knew what one was. I watched my brothers go to different colleges. One went to Maine, another went to Temple, another went to UConn. So I'm just, you just know about those colleges. When I got accepted to an HBCU, I looked at my parents like, I don't think I want to go to Columbia, South Carolina. I don't know what it is down there. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know anybody down there.
Wow.
But it's one of the best decisions that my dad made me do, because my mom too, they made me get on the bus. I tell you the full story, to be honest with you. They sent me a presidential scholarship, and I was like, Mom, I looked at my mom and dad and said, I think I want to be like a Walmart manager. I'll never forget that. And my dad said, no, you ain't. You going to school. And I was like, Dad, I was like, man, school too much. It's too expensive, blah, blah, blah. He was like, these people gave you a scholarship. And probably like 2 months later, I was on the Greyhound bus.
Big dog.
To South Carolina, doing everything that I had to do, registration and everything by myself and things of that nature. And it was the best decision that had ever happened, because after that, I learned not only about HBCU culture, but it gave me the best chance to survive in this world, and which got me jobs in my field. And now look, I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee. Never would have thought I'd be here either, but at the same time, I'm going to enjoy it because of the field that it gave me. So with him going to Utah, you may not know, DC and Utah are two different places. It is. But at the same time, I hope that he realized that this is a time for him to say, you know what, I understand and I enjoy my roots from Maryland, but I'm going to take it out here with me to Utah and start to grow as a man, because this is where you start to grow in these years right here. And this is where you start to, whether if he has a family out, he start to want to get a family out there, or he wants to stay out there long term, it's going to come off of him, because he has to be at peace with it. And trust me, I never been to Utah, but I heard the scenery is beautiful and peaceful.
It is.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and just relax, and that sometimes that fast city life can be the worst thing for you. But this peaceful little mountain life that you're about to get with basketball probably be the best thing for you.
So Elijah, let me pause you right there and say the following on the tip of the Utah Jazz. I am totally disappointed that there is a basketball team in Utah called the Jazz. That's one thing I think New Orleans should have beat something. They should have did what Charlotte did with the Hornets, because Charlotte said, wait a minute, ain't no Hornets in New Orleans, and this was originally our name, so can we have our name back? Y'all rename yourself. Because to this day, even though I think a pelican, and I know pelicans are very menacing birds, like, folks don't know pelicans are some menacing birds, but I sure would have rather go down and play in New Orleans against the New Orleans Jazz than the New Orleans anybody. So sometimes I think that the NBA should say that name needs to never leave this city. The franchise can leave. Y'all rename it when you get it out there. But that name should have never left the city of New Orleans, because the New Orleans Jazz should still be the New Orleans Jazz. I said what I said.
Yeah.
You could still have y'all could have New Orleans Zydeco's. You don't want that?
Hey man. Hey man. I got here in 1995, and I didn't know what Zydeco was then, and did not know until I got to the place that celebrates Zydeco. You got to understand, a lot of folks didn't know Zydeco. They still don't know what Southern Soul is. You're right. They could call them the New Orleans Southern Soul, but no, New Orleans is known for one thing and one thing only. They either going to call it the New Orleans crawdads or crawfish, or they're going to call them the New Orleans Jazz, because that's what you go to New Orleans. It's New Orleans foodies. And you can't call them the foodies, because people go to New Orleans to eat. So it's the New Orleans Jazz, man. It should have been the Jazz. Now, I love the Pelicans. Listen, Miss Benson, I understand. I love the Pelicans. I know Miss Benson personally. Got love for you, Miss Benson. I used to work for the New Orleans Hornets when the Shin family owned the Hornets. Be exact, that was when I was working for ESPN, and they offered me a job. A lot of folks don't know I was the stadium announcer for the Hornets for about a half a season. So, I just think certain names should stay with certain cities. And that's why I believe the Jazz, that name, the NBA should have made it. You can buy the franchise, you can move the franchise, but you can't move the name.
Now, I do want to change subjects a little bit with Alethea and Jax. This is really for y'all, right? I saw this recent thing. I thought it was funny. I thought it was really cool. I don't think my mom would do it. I don't want to say that. She probably would. But these recruits went to LSU. And where they do is they will have their the kids dress up in their uniforms, but LSU did something different. I want to know if you guys will do the same. They had their moms dress up in the uniform.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
They
Wait a
had
minute.
their
Oh my
moms-
Yeah,
God.
they did. Mom suited up. That's right. I saw that. That was good. I like
Wow.
that.
Okay.
I want to know, would y'all do the same thing, a photo shoot and everything for y'all?
Yes, for my son, hell,
Yeah.
put it on me.
Yeah. So,
Put it on me.
so wait, I couldn't halfway see it because I don't have my glasses on. But
Hold on.
they had on
Hold
the
on. I'm
football,
gonna try to pull
football
it up.
uniform.
I'm gonna try to pull it up. Hold on. Just keep talking.
I love that.
Okay, it looks like she got the football uniform on, right?
Yes,
So for
yes.
me, yeah. So for me, I would do it, but the only difference for mine would be I don't wear pants. I only wear dresses and skirts. So my bottoms they have to be a dress, a dress or a skirt. But
No,
of course, I
Jax,
get that.
no, Jax,
Yes,
no.
I'll find. I'll make some fly football, a cute little football
Hey,
skirt bottom.
hey,
and-
I
and-
get that. I get
yeah.
that. Hey, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's take a closer look at this thing. Like he said, I think this was a hell of an idea. And I liked it. I really liked it.
Yes,
There it is.
yes,
There it is,
because
family.
because
For sure.
it was them. It was their blood, sweat, and tears. It was them that brought them to like every practice. It was them that got them everywhere that they needed
Yeah.
to
Oh,
be. It was them that made that sacrifice. So why
Yeah.
not?
hold
Why
on.
not give
hold on,
mama
hold on.
that glory?
Hold
That's
on.
right.
And what
That's right.
what you just heard there was a single mom rant from Alicia Crimmins. I'm not going to hold it. I'm not going to negate or hold it.
And
I'm
some
not
daddies
going to
there
hold
too.
it. Wait a minute. I'm not going to negate one word she said, but I will add to it. We don't know. There might have been daddies in their lives. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know that. We
Single
don't see
mom
the
alert.
dad there. But that is a time and a moment, Elijah, where I say mama power is prevalent. Like I tell everybody love their mama. Everybody may not love their daddy, but everybody love their mama, regardless what mama did. I just finished saying, you can have the biggest beef in the world, but down deep inside, the reason you got the beef is you still in love with the person you beefing with.
Yeah.
And you cannot publicly let folks know that you still care for that person. So once the beef begins, y'all just escalate the beef because that's just how humanity does it. You really position yourself, but down deep inside, the reason you mad is because you missed the person. And that's why, tragically, Elijah, you don't know, I lost one of my closest friends and mentors in my life yesterday, who I did not expect to get the phone call that this person had transitioned and went to glory. I had a list of folks. Be exact. If you said, Joe, let's bet $1 million, you're going to get a call tomorrow. And it's going to tell you that this person has passed away and went to be with the ancestors. I would have told you smoking straight crack cocaine, and I would have personally came and tried to get you into some type of rehab. Because I had a list of folks. I said, no, I can give you a list of people who I'll be in a black suit at their funeral before this person. Let me know, once again, like you said, it made me understand that with all that I bring to the table, bro, you do not control when God decides to bring somebody to glory.
Nope. Nothing in this life is guaranteed but death.
Hey, and that young man that gave the very disparaging look that's done went viral and people are talking about it on social media from the NBA draft, he may not understand it now because guess what? I'm not at 58 years old the same man I was at 20 years old.
That's right.
And sometimes folk from a distance can see and understand, but we have to go back and put ourselves when we were in that position and know that regardless of what was said to us, many a times, guess what we said? You don't know what you're talking about, old time. I'm going to do it my way. Until you became an old timer, and then you said to some youngsters, man, I sure wish I had to listen to that old timer when that old timer told me. Because he tried to warn me. Just like I'm trying to warn you.
That's right. You know, the crazy part, you say you're not the same man you were at 20 years old as you were at 58 years old. You're not the same man you were at 57 years old. And I've seen the growth and the change. So we have to know that growth is an evolving process, and we're going to continue to grow if you desire to grow. You're going to grow in one way, shape, or form.
Right.
And you know what, Joe? Back to what Elijah was just talking about, showing the picture. Look at the irony of it all. Now, if a dad were to put on his daughter's little cheerleading outfit, I know y'all have seen some of those type of pictures before. It looks a little different, right? So talk about that,
Good
Sure
point.
do.
Elijah.
It sure
Elijah,
do.
what? Oh,
right?
as you get ready to make your way
Look,
out the
Elijah
door, what
like,
would you?
hell no.
Okay, what would you say about that? If
I'm-
your
But why not?
daughter was an NCAA winning cheerleader and she asked you to put on a cheer. Now look, they are male cheerleading outfits. You know, I might put on one of them Clover, like the guy Clover outfits. You never
Yeah.
know.
You put us some
You know,
booty shorts, Joe?
if it came down to it, not the skirt, but the
Uh-uh.
pants and the shirt,
Right.
and we took a picture together, I'll do it for her. I'll do
Right.
it for her.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
But I'm
Come
not breaking my back with pom poms and barrettes. You can keep that. I don't even
Yeah,
have
exactly.
to have barrettes in my hair.
No,
But
you can't put the wave. No, not on the waves, baby. Not on the waves.
Now on
on
the
waves.
waves.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
would take a picture with her if that meant the moment to her and it meant the world. But this better happen too after that. She better commit to that school.
Yeah,
She better
exactly.
sign to that school if I'm doing that.
So Elijah,
To that
give me
school.
some closing words, man. Let me know. Let me take this out your face for a minute. Hold on. Let me bring you back solo. Give me some closing words. Tell us about your podcast, where we can catch your podcast, man, and we'll catch each other on Monday. What's going on in sports this weekend? What, since NBA's over, baseball's over, what's going on in sports this weekend?
Really, it's just a countdown. It's a slow period. The countdown to college football coming back. It's not too much unless you got a major minor league baseball team in your city. But it's not too much going on right now. But you can still catch the Fish Steak on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere, Amazon. However you want to listen to it or watch it visually, we have it on there. But before I go, I gotta let y'all ladies know. I'm gonna text Brian Kelly and get y'all uniforms because I gotta see if y'all gonna go ahead and put on them LSU Tiger uniforms. And stick to the word, because I'm gonna text him. I'm gonna be like, Brian.
Hold on, Elijah. Jackson's in New Jersey. You might need to call Rutgers for her.
Oh, Rutgers.
And wait a minute. And while we at the subject, Jack's daughter is leaving to go to college, and she ain't going to Rutgers. She's actually going to Spelman. So
right.
Trust me, Jack's gonna be having plenty of Spelman gear on. I promise you. You're gonna see a shirt that says Spelman mom and all that, because I am a proud father whose daughter graduated from the LSU. I have another daughter that graduated from the Louisiana Tech. Got a son that graduated from the Southern University. And my oldest son followed after Pops and went to my alma mater, and he is a Maryland Terrapin. Now, my youngest child that is about to graduate high school, he acted like he's going to go to LSU. And if he do, guess what? I'll just be pulling out all my old LSU dad gear, and I'll be once again going, hold that Tiger. Hold that Tiger.
But yeah, I appreciate this time. Funky Friday, man. And sorry for your loss again, Joe. I didn't know.
Hey, man, listen, if anything, man, find somebody, Elijah, that you need to tell them you love them, and don't put it off. Tell them today.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them today. I didn't speak to this person. It was 7 days ago when I spoke to this person.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel crummy because I was holding off to call him the day after the show. Well, guess what? I can't call him now.
Mm-hmm.
Not the way I want to call him.
That's right.
All right, family. That's my man, Elijah Nixon. Y'all give it up to him with sports. We'll see him on Monday. That part. Holla at you, Elijah.
That's right.
We
You know what, Joe?
Talk to me.
Big up shout out to my daughter Olivia. I posted on my page the other day. She did a phenomenal speech for the New Jersey Golf Association. They had her be the keynote speaker because they gave her a small scholarship for college. And out of hundreds of kids, she was the one selected to just randomly be, the keynote speaker. And she did such a phenomenal job. There were so many offers of internships, jobs, and everything. People were coming up to her left and right. So big ups to my daughter. She commanded the podium in the room, and she just makes me so incredibly proud. And my son has that ability as well. So I'm just so proud of my kids. So peace and blessings.
The spirit of one of our former podcasters hit me. And I'm glad I saw that spirit and I dusted them off of me.
Mm.
I am so blessed that your daughter had to speak. I know she's a phenomenal young lady. I'm glad she got a scholarship. no matter how big the scholarship was in
Mhm.
money or how you know,
Yep.
I'm thankful that somebody thought enough to sow into your daughter's future.
Amen.
And Olivia, I'll be seeing Olivia July, month after next. I'll see her in
Yeah.
August. I'll be in Atlanta in August, doing
Yes.
my thing with the HBCUs, and I'll see Olivia, and we'll actually probably
Yeah.
go and grab a latte, a coffee, something. We're gonna sit down and grab a bagel, something, a pastry. We're gonna
That's
laugh,
right. She gonna
laugh.
trick you to eat because that little girl can eat. She's 92 pounds, but her little
I
ass
know
can
she
eat.
can. Shoot,
Yeah.
let's live, live.
Yeah.
Hold, them little ones always can eat. That part right there.
Yeah.
So it is 6 minutes to the top of the hour. I don't know what we're doing today. Like I said, I'm all over the place. Ladies,
It's all right.
Cal, hold it. You know, there used to be a commercial say, Cal, God, take me away. Ladies, let's talk about something, anything. Y'all talk about something. Tell me
Yeah.
what y'all want to talk about. It's getting ready to be the
You know what?
weekend. Talk to
That's
me.
right. You know what? I saw a post last night, right? And I screenshot it and I loved it and I wanted to share it today. It says conformity is doing what everyone else is doing, regardless of what is right. Morality is doing what is right, regardless of what everyone else is doing.
Mm,
That is so true. That is so true, y'all. Right?
mm.
So where do you guys stand? Are you more into conforming to what everybody else is doing regardless of what's right, or morality doing the right thing regardless if everybody else is doing it or not? Where do y'all stand on that?
Here
No,
on both
I'm
sides.
doing.
Wait a minute. On both sides of the fence, to be
Hmm.
honest with you. Be
Hmm.
honest with you, straddle the fence half the time. Cause sometimes, listen,
Hmm.
I'm tired. I just can't fake the funk this morning. Sometimes I be that dude that you
Yeah.
look at and be like, boy, that boy revolutionary like Malcolm X. And other
Yep.
times, I'm just that one dude that's like when you see a whole bunch of sheep and there's just
Yeah.
a whole bunch of sheep.
Uh-huh.
I'm just that sheep that's in the midst of the sheep. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yep.
man, I'm here with y'all. What we doing?
Exactly. Yep.
What we doing, family?
Because you
You
know what I
know,
think, Joe? I think wisdom comes, when we get to that point, I think that's when wisdom kicks in a little bit because sometimes it's like you got to pick your battles.
right,
Everything doesn't have to be your battle or your fight. And sometimes you're like, I don't even really give a damn right now. Let me just go ahead and go along and get along. But I know what I really need to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
right, right, right,
But without compromising, your moral, compass, in the midst
right,
of that.
right. I
What
mean,
you
at
say,
the end,
Alicia?
come on,
Uh,
Lily.
I think that we all straddle that fence that we know what's right, but sometimes we do what's popular
mhm,
versus what is right, and
mhm.
we know good and well that that's not what we want to do, but at times we don't want to stand alone.
Uh,
Yeah.
hey, the fear of being lonely and
Uh-huh.
alone will put you in some positions that you
Hmm.
sometimes look back and say, why did I ever even deal with these individuals? Because you got to look
Yeah.
at yourself and say there was a deficiency in you. And we
Mhm.
got to get this right, family, because many a times we position ourselves in places that all of a sudden we wave the flag that we are a victim. Oh my
Mhm.
God, look at poor
Mhm.
little me. When the truth about it is, the only reason you even got associated with this situation, this individual, or this circumstance was because of your own insecurities.
Mhm.
Mm,
Mhm.
mm.
That's right. That's right.
It's real. I always tell folks, y'all can keep on playing, but I have got to the point of my life, I'm wise enough to know that everything that has happened in my life, God allowed it to happen. But when it
Mhm.
came down to me and my dominion, which He did give me to make choices, I
Mhm.
either chose to be complacent or I chose to do it. So in other
Mhm.
words, either way, it was my choice because at any given time, I could have took my stuff up and left
That's right.
and said, I ain't got nothing to do with this, and I don't care how you feel. But too many times we don't want to hurt. See, stop sacrificing your peace,
Mhm.
well-being, and health for other folks' feelings.
Mhm.
I'm at the point
Absolutely.
right now, I don't give a damn. You don't like me, you never did like me. So regardless what I do, you ain't gonna like me. So guess what? I'm gonna do what makes Joe happy.
That's right. That's right. That's why I always say at the end of the show, love the life you live and live the life you love. Because we have to do what makes us happy. And if you seek to please the most high, and pleasing him, you're gonna be happy because he's not gonna steer you wrong. He's just gonna steer you to righteousness and to do the right thing. But doing the wrong thing feels good as hell sometimes, but there's consequences for doing that wrong thing. So if you want to be Billy Badass and continue on the wrong path of doing things that's not so good, just be prepared for the consequences.
That part. And guess what? I don't need but the one time have a good conversation with you about it. And if you choose to stay on that path, let me let you stay on that path. We
That's
good,
right.
dog.
By yourself.
Enjoy
By
yourself.
yourself.
And enjoy yourself. See, that's our problem. You know, a friend of mine just posted something on social media that I was laughing because she's so funny to me. But like she said, the reason there's so many Captain Saber hoes out here is because there's so many hoes out here who need saving.
Woo.
Ooh.
Dang.
And I love that she said that. Because she said in order for them to be so many dudes wanting to throw on the cape,
Yep.
there's a lot of us out here who hoes need to be saved. She
Yeah.
said, so here's the problem. Stop being a hoe. She said, you know, y'all keep on talking about, oh, look at these Negroes and look at these. No, you a hoe. So stop. And she said, and if you're going to be a hoe, own it. Own it. She said, don't stutter. Don't, when people go, well, blah, blah, blah. Well, hey, that's how I get it. If you don't like the way I get it how you get it. You know, just own it. See, what's the problem is you want folks to, right now, like I told you, I'm working on a project with Zeus. And I'm like, Zeus ain't known for good content. But they have made a multi-million-dollar platform on sisters literally going off on each other. But you know, then you look at it and say, man, do I really want to associate myself with this? And a person said, well, man, I don't need you to be at front. It ain't like we're gonna have a camera on. We need your intellect on how to do some things, and we're gonna pay you. I'm gonna get that money. I might not ever talk about I got that money, but I'm gonna get that money. But at the end of the day, it's what I'm deciding to do, because when I try to do wholesome content, hashtag truth be told, JD Live, community conversations, and ask y'all folks to help sponsor, all I need, y'all, is maybe $100 a month. You know, I'm going to put you on the website. I'm going to shout out your business every day. I'm going to try to drive people to go to your business, you know, because some of you don't want to give Joe $100 a month because why I need to try to sow into his life, because y'all do that with certain individuals, because y'all put in y'all mind, I don't want to see you living in a nice house, driving it. Well, baby, guess what? Your money and not sewing into me don't prevent me from having a nice house, a nice car, wearing nice clothes, and doing what I do.
That's
you
right.
ain't stopping shit.
That's right. Oh, Joe, who you?
So I had to get that off my chest right quick. 1 minute's past the hour. We might do a little overtime since I came in late. But let me say this. Just because you don't click on the website, just because you don't get a sponsorship package, just because you ain't stopping, because guess what? There are companies out there that take good care of me. If anything, I'm trying to bless you and open you up to all the avenues of all the people I talk to on a daily basis. But nah, you got your mind in little old whatever the name of your city is. And I could care less what the name of your city is, because guess what? Just like you tune in, there's other folks in your city that tune in too. Exactly. And I could be right now telling them, hey, you want to grab something for lunch? Go see so-and-so. They have great lunches. But no, you don't want to sow that little piece of bread into my life. So that's all right. Yeah. Don't do it. Don't do it. But guess what? I'm still going to drive the same car. Every time you see a picture of me, I'm going to be looking good. Y'all really going to get sick of some of the pictures coming up in the next few years, because you're going to be like, that boy been doing what?
And you know, it's so sad, Joe, that some people are just so bitter, you know, and the more you try and seek to be a good person and do good works, the bitterness keeps coming out of people left and right. But let them be bitter. Let them be bitter and angry and mad and upset, and not even knowing that the same ones that they're being bitter towards are the ones that can really sow into and bless your life to help you be in a better position. But you so busy being stank that you can't even get blessed. You will forgo your blessings because you want to sit around being stank and ugly.
But listen, I have to run. I gotta drop my wife's vehicle off. But y'all just go out there and do better, and stop being bitter. Do better and stop being bitter. And if people talk about you, if people got something to say about you, let them, because they will not block your blessing. So keep going out there, be great in their face, and have a good day on purpose.
Have a great
That's
weekend,
right.
Alethea. We love you. We'll
Love
see
you.
you later, dear. So me and Jack's gonna stay in here for a second.
Mhm,
We're gonna stay in here for a second. Alethea's gone. We're gonna stay in here. Like I said.
mhm,
And look, I know I started it off. I was late. I'm still putting together the
mhm,
departure of my friend and mentor. But I do want to get some things off my chest that need to
mhm.
get off my chest. Y'all stop thinking because you don't click like and share, you stopping something. You ain't stopping nothing. You stopping your blessing. Because I promise you, every morning we're not on here
Mhm.
talking crazy. We're talking 1 hour to get you uplifted, to get you motivated, to get your day started in a manner where we can really say to you, no matter what happened yesterday, no matter how bad, and I got bad news yesterday. Guess what? God still allowed me with the bad news to wake up this morning. That means I got work to do.
Mhm.
And I got work to do. And I put my trust as my resource.
Mhm.
My resource and my sources come from the Lord.
That's right.
God makes me speak to folks that I'm like, why am I speaking to this person? Next thing I know, this person says, hey, brother, I like to sew in. I like to cut a check. So those who I try to promote and those who have businesses that come to me
Mhm.
for strategies and stuff, understand, I'm not giving you free
Mhm.
advice.
Mhm.
I'm not giving you a free advice. You're not going to pick my brain and not cut a check, because there are folks out there cutting checks for me to talk to them and tell
That's
them
right.
what needs to be done. So don't sit here and then don't try to act like there's something wrong with me or Joe acts funny. No, Joe has
Yeah.
a business. Just
That's
like
right.
you go to work. If people didn't buy the products and services where you work, you wouldn't be working, because sooner or later the business would close down.
That's
And
right.
just
That's
like whatever it is you do and whatever you produce, you get a check for it. I get a check for content. I get a
exactly.
check to run my mouth and to write. And that's what I
Mhm.
do. And if you don't appreciate what I bring to the table, no problem. Chat GPT that thing until you blue in the face. Don't
Yeah.
bother me. What you'll find out is folks know when your words have no soul, no
Mhm.
spirit,
Oh,
and nothing but a robotic tone to it that goes, today you need to
yep.
come see me at my place of business.
Yeah.
My place of business does good business.
Yeah.
This is what
Yeah.
I do. Folk feel that.
Yeah.
So you
That's
keep
right.
on saving your coins and chat GPT and try to wonder why your business hasn't became great, but it is just what it is. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. What I do, you can't put a price tag on it. What I do, they don't make trophies and awards for me, because what I do comes straight from the heart. And guess what? Because it comes from the heart, it is felt by the heart. And that's
That's
why
right.
other folks are sitting there going, man, I sure wish I knew how to get into the
Mhm.
Essence Music Festival of Culture at the level
Mhm.
Joe Dupree does. Baby, I've been doing this 31 years since day
Amen.
one. Essence and me are day ones. I
Amen.
have relationships that have not lasted as long as me and Essence.
I believe
Essence
it.
has seen me get married, divorced, married, divorced. Essence doesn't see me go through some things. But me and Essence are still together like peanut butter and jelly.
That's right.
And then I got folks calling me talking about, I don't know. Babe,
Mhm.
okay. Guess what?
Yeah.
You not cutting me a check, don't stop nothing.
Mhm.
I'm going to be okay.
Amen.
Life gonna be okay. And guess what? If I decide to promote you for free, and there are people I promote for free every day, there are people I really have real love for. Why? I
Mhm.
don't know.
Yeah.
I last night in tears, Jax, I
Uh-huh.
said, God, you done took my man from me. You done took
Mm.
my man's from me.
Mm.
I said, oh Lord, what do I do? God said, keep
Yeah.
living.
That's
In a
right.
still cool voice. God said, keep living
That's right.
until I call you home.
Yep. Yep. Because that's one guarantee. You gonna get called home. We just don't know when.
That part.
You know, and while we're here, just like you're talking about, Joe, we have to support each other's businesses and stop always trying to get a free hookup. Because let me tell you, when I was doing that some grief counseling for this big event that was going on a couple weeks ago,
Mhm.
those situations had me tore up. my spirit was so
Oh, I
heavy.
know.
Yeah.
You literally hold up. Let's go back and rewind. Jack sent
Yep.
me a message and said, Joe, I can't come on today.
Yep.
Listen, and because we are associates, I don't work for Jax and Jax don't work for me, but we all have similar mindsets and we
Yeah.
have a vehicle that God blessed me with that I'm able to say, come on the vehicle. Y'all don't know. I got a young lady right now that's in the chat. She does insurance. We need to know more about insurance. She didn't even know this.
Yeah.
I'm going to be bringing her on the show to talk insurance because y'all need to understand how insurance works and operates. So we're going to bring her on to talk about insurance. And because we're bringing her on to talk about insurance and just give general information, of course, I'm going to promote her as a person you need to go see for insurance. Why? Because when you give information to bless the people, we should bless you by giving you an opportunity to earn our business.
That's right. That's right. Because if there's a gap in your insurance, you sure enough could go to her and say, you know what, let me buy whatever. So just like when I was dealing with the trauma of hearing all of this stuff, but yet I still have to be a strong, coach and therapist and strategist dealing with, some of these people while their hearts are like literally broken into pieces after their children were murdered, whether their children were murdered 60 years ago or just yesterday. So I called one of our brothers from the show, Brother Chris, right? And I actually texted him that night when I got home because my spirit was so heavy. I texted him, I was like, bro, I need a session. Now, Chris and I went to grad school together. We have the same degree, right? I took a few more classes because I focused on the administration and dealing with the leadership of therapists, but he decided to go and get the license to do it, right? So I called him and I said, how much, send me a cash out, whatever, so I can pay you. Now, granted, I could have just picked up the phone and called him and just dumped on him, you know what I'm saying? And just let it all out. And he would have gladly taken it, right? And helped me through that process. But no, that's my brother. He has a business. So I paid him to talk to him when I talk to him all the time anyway, you know? But that's what you do when you support your friends. And that's what you do when you need help. You reach out for help because that's a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness. So we have to change our mentality around that.
Right. And we got to learn how to circulate dollars amongst ourselves.
Yes.
They do it all the time. Listen,
They
I see non-melanated people who hate each other, who do business with each other all the time because doing business with each other benefits each other.
Yep.
We are the type folks, we won't do business with folks who we know will help us make more money because somebody told us not to like that person.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Black and brown folks, y'all are crazy as hell. And y'all ask yourself, how the hell did they get us over here on a slave boat? Easy, if that's how we operate.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Guess what? Sometimes stop acting like you so smart that you so bad and you know so much and the kings and queens. And true enough, we are descendant of kings and queens.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the lines, we must have fell into that cesspool of fools and dummies.
No, you know what, Joe? It stemmed from, even if we go back to the book of Deuteronomy, it stems from us. The Most High says, my people, you are not obedient to my word and following me. I'm going to put them plagues and I'll put some things upon you and I'm going to have them take you to another land and separate you from your children and put you in shackles. All of that stuff was written in God's word. You know, so we disobeyed God. And so now all these plagues is upon us because we started worshiping idols and doing all type of, having deviant behavior, not doing what we were supposed to do. So we were, our guard was down. We were easy to be, held captive and shipped, to the four corners of the earth. So we just got to do better. We just have got to do better. You could go to any city, any town, any country where our people are, and we are in many cases in the same space, just a different zip code, area code, a different continent or country.
And that's where you got to ask yourself, as it is 12 minutes past the hour, we're only going to do 3 more minutes. You have to ask yourself this question. What am I doing to make myself better?
Mm-hmm.
Too many times, because you want to be popular, you want to be a person connected with click, like, and share. You want everybody to love you and you to go social, viral, and all this stuff. You don't look your good self in the mirror and say, what can I do today? What one thing can I do today to make myself better today than I was yesterday? And with that being said, the spirit just hit me. It's time for us to close out. Come on, Jax, let's do it.
That's right. If nobody told you they love you today, y'all already know who loves you. Sister Jax. Sister Jax loves you. And I'll need you to love yourself. So love the life you live, live the life you love, go out and have a great weekend. And like Sister Alethea says, have it on purpose. I can't do the you welcome like her because she's too cute. I ain't all that cute yet. But yeah, just go ahead and be great, guys. I love you. Be safe. Peace out.
That part. Family, it is Freedom and Fun Friday. The weekend is a bonus. Have a blessed and wonderful weekend. Of course, as I said, my condolences, my prayers goes to a lot of folks this morning. As the word will circulate, as soon as I get permission from the family, I'm going to post a picture of me and my brother, and I'm going to proclaim to the social media winds that this was a great man. I'm not going to tell you how he died. I'm going to tell you how he lived. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for this brother. This brother really calmed my spirits. And in so many things I do, he blessed me and made me see myself and the potential I have, had, and will continue to move forward in his name and many others' names who have sold into me, poured into me, blessed me to be the man that I am. Brother, all I can say is rest easy. I'll see you soon. Hopefully not too soon, but I'll see you soon. Be better today, family. Be better today than you were yesterday. Do something today to bless somebody in some shape, form, or fashion, that no matter what you do, there's no earthly way you could ever get paid back by them because you released it freely from your heart. And the Most High will see that and bless you accordingly. Always remember that there is no secret, absolutely no secret what God can do. What he has done for others, he will and he can do for you. For when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. Have a great Friday. Hopefully your weekend is full of fun, blessings, and enjoyment. We'll be back Monday if the Lord say to say. We up out of here. Peace.